like dosing their kids heavily with Benadryl to get them to go to sleep for no good reason. So you know what pediatricians did? They got together and they made a safe dosage chart for children on adult Benadryl. You know why? Because the doctors didn't think parents would stop giving their kids Benadryl. They just thought they'd give them too much adult Benadryl.
Yeah.
You can get kids Benadryl on Amazon.
Correct.
You can get kids Benadryl, but you can't get baby Benadryl.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Alkali. I've been around you too long.
Good move. Everyone should have a wine opener, a bottle opener, and a friend to tell them to go to bed eventually.
I don't even need this though for another several months.
You think that was a nice spot? So me and Xander were naked in bed.
It's not 18 plus.
Wait, what? He didn't say what they were doing. That's just
That's true, they were just playing Scrabble.
Opening fire.
Xander and I were naked in bed playing Mario Kart, and he said, "Fine, what's that big mushroom?"
I can't look away.
Alright, you need to understand something. So that noise that it just made, everyone knows that noise, the bottle popping noise. So it took me years to be able to do that semi-consistently. And the reason I say semi-consistently is the first time I did it, I broke my nose. I was like, oh, I've seen this in movies. You, come here. Wham! Blood.
Crap. Oh, that's not the right noise.
How do you do that? You're just as dumb as me. Oh, how do you make the noise? It's, you're trying to hit everything at once, flat surface. Okay, do not break your teeth or your nose.
My mouth doesn't work like that.
Definitely not any rusty pipes in here.
No, I get it.
Yeah, shut up, Chris. I believe in me too. Also believe my lies.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Don't believe it.
It's yes and, man.
Yes, and man.
It's not call out the truth.
It's all true.
Don't call out my drug habit. Just say yes.
Just snapped and smiled back.
Yes, and.
Yes and.
That's gonna be my response to you from now on. It's yes, and man.
It's
Just
yes
yes,
and.
and.
It sounds like Xander. Yes, Xander.
Yes,
All
and.
right. So before we start, we just want to, not joking, even though I'm going to say it in a crazy sarcastic way, because that's how I talk apparently. Thank you so much for choosing this panel over Floor Wars.
Oh, they gotta run.
I totally thought Scholar Stadium was just going to leave the room. But yep, that was the reaction. Also, what's the other panel going on?
The boar meet and eat is happening in the fish bowl.
The variety show's happening as well.
Like the variety show too?
Yeah, variety show's competing with floor.
Alright, let's be honest, next year we should not be up against those four panels individually. We combine them all into one.
The Floor Boar Variety Show.
Four wars! It's just super creative ways to eat people and then us sitting there with signs with numbers. You can totally be the Russian judge.
You forgot Citrine.
Chris?
Oh yes, the Dream's playing right now as well.
I got extra microphones so that can happen.
Yeah, this works.
Alkali, you forgot Citrine too.
Hold on, it's just...
He's playing.
Just ran.
Citrine's done.
Oh, he's done? Okay, never mind.
No, it's one thing to go against panels. We do not like going up against our friends. We always feel bad about that.
Sometimes we like going up against our friends just like the audience.
Quality. You're like one of those Did you talk to him?
Yes.
Okay, it's just you that's quiet then.
I could yell.
Please don't.
Please do.
We don't need another broken hip, and I'm retired from the EMS group.
Alright, ready? Go. Okay. Hello, welcome to the Dragget Show. That's Dragon the Ferret together. I am Xander. This is Alkali.
I'm not here!
We're in MFF 2019.
To introduce our fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen, you've known him for many things that we do. He's one of the funniest people we've ever met. Also, he's rooming with us, and his farts do not smell like roses. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris and Alkali.
I built a fort and you chose that.
Dude, we're going to bring up the fort that you built in my room later.
Okay.
To my right,
It's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, he knows the law better than, trail off your sentence here, ladies and gentlemen, Boozy Badger!
So anyway, usually we start with the con theme, but there isn't none. So.
Wait, are they back to no con theme yet?
It's a birthday theme.
What's the theme?
It's a birthday.
It's a birthday theme!
It's the 20th
Oh, so
year.
it's a birth, so basically no one should have showed up and we should cry in the corner? Don't order that! I didn't get birthday parties!
We can still do bozo buckets. We can still do bozo buckets. Oh, what's that? What is that?
It's apparently cool. Alright, so we just found one of the room keys. I believe it's supposed to be a wolf exhaling his breath into the cold winter air, but all I see is a wolf who just took a hit. And they decided to put that on the room key because January 1st is going to be a great day in Illinois.
We can still stop using the thing on the shirt over there as a
I'm
charitable
sorry.
code.
I don't care how long it takes. We are going to change the name of cannabis to Fizzy Cherry Cola. It's just so much more festive. We could have polar bears. I want to see the commercial for legalizing marijuana with stoner polar bears. Just zooming in on the mom who can't put up with the kids anymore.
Polar bears do not advertise for marijuana, sir. Just polar bears do coke.
That explains why I got that stock market up there and everything. It really does, yeah.
How did the show start? Average.
Yeah, that's fine, right? So usually we start with the theme, but we were just talking up in our room, and I don't even know how to go into this. Do you want to go into this?
I don't remember what we were talking
All
about.
right, you want to go into this?
Which one? There's like 3 or 4 things.
All right. So back in the day, we were reflecting on how back in the '90s there was a good guy pimp.
Oh,
Everybody loved in the WWF. Which is kind of weird. You remember The Godfather?
Oh, wow, he was a wrestling fan?
Yeah.
If you're a wrestling fan, give us a round of applause. I'm also a fan.
Yes.
Xander actually got me into wrestling. It was a wonderful experience. And then all of a sudden there was a match where somebody bled a lot. And I wasn't okay with that. So now he has to pre-watch the wrestling matches for me, or I go inside and just make dinner.
So. Oh no! Jesus Christ!
Sorry. Family memories. When you double down on sad, it's fun.
So we're going on about this the Godfather character, and that's how weird and it is to have like, oh, everybody loves this pimp. He's the ultimate good guy.
Well, yeah, he was a fun pimp. He wasn't a heel at all. He was like, yeah. So, you know how it goes. We start ripping back and forth, and somehow we invented the character of the woke pimp.
Yeah. Oh, it's full of pimp.
I believe Xander had it. What was it? Oh, yeah. My bitches are so hot.
I gotta teach him about climate change.
And he's totally about equal worker rights and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody with 401k.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really good.
All my bitches get health.
Yo, remember, my bitches, universal basic bitch income.
Right. UBDI. I forgot about that.
UBDI, I believe it.
And then someone's like, hey, why are you calling them all bitches? Bitches stands for beautiful, intelligent, thoughtful, caring hoes. So it's okay.
You meet him in an elevator, he's like, yo, we teach evolution.
That one was killing me, because it's just like, oh, that too? Okay, yeah, that's good.
I just gotta imagine hooking up with your hooker, like you do, and you're in the bedroom and you look up at her and she's like, on Darwin Island, there are 37 different beads of finches, which proves evolution exists. Do we? Let's further the gene pool.
Wait. Oh, wait. You said 37 different being
Species. Sorry.
which prove evolution exists.
I
someone typo while speaking?
Have we not had a conversation prior to this?
I just have to picture what the episodes of Woke Pimp would be. It would be like, today, Clarissa thinks that the world is flat.
What?
Not on my watch.
My bitches don't believe in flat worlds or flat chests. And this is what we were doing at 3 in the morning last night. So to continue the story, today, a very good friend of mine on staff here at Midwest Fur Fest asked, "Hey Alkali, what's your room number?" And I told him, and he said, "Oh, that explains a lot." I'm like, "Why?" He says, "We're neighbors." I'm like, "Oh, were we too loud?" He's like, "A little, but that's okay, because I'm really in the mood for bitches today." Low bitches. The walls here are paper thin.
Yes, they are. I went upstairs before this panel to use the bathroom.
Bad start, bad start.
I was sitting in my room doing my thing when my spouse sent me a text message that said, "Oh, they're having fun next door." Here's what we heard through the walls. "Oh, oh, 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 oh." And then a completely different voice, completely deadpan, went, "My God, I can't stop watching."
Holy shit.
I bet they were surprised when I yelled out, "Neither did I!"
So continuing this conversation, we were trying to go to bed, and it gets quiet, and then I start giggling, and then I start giggling a lot more, and then I start laughing.
Middle of the night, dead quiet. At first I don't know how to do this, so somebody help me out here. As you started, because you didn't chortle, you didn't chuckle, the first noise you made was,
Yeah.
and then, I'm like, all right, I think my roommate was jerking off. And then the next noise that came out, like, oh no, he's crying. So now I am laying in bed, wondering if it is appropriate to stay in an empty room. Are you okay?
And I'm just like, and then it turns into a full guffaw, and then I just hear Alkali go, "What the hell did you see?" And I was like, "I didn't see anything, I just remembered something I said earlier today." And he's like, "Tell me, you need to tell me."
Yes.
And I was like, okay, so I was just sitting there, as people were walking by, like you do, and sometimes stuff falls out of my mouth. Weird stuff, it is really bad. But this person walks by and they go, "Man, I just want kids." And I just go, "Yeah, man, me too. But I'm on this stupid list."
And I was like, dude.
No, you did not say dude. We had a moment of silent conflict. You thought about it.
Yes.
Contemplation, that's a word. And what did you say?
Help me out here.
Oh, you're like, never put your existential crisis. I have this killer bit.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, never mind, you're bearing your soul. I have to shit on you right now.
You guys don't understand. It's like kind of funny. I know you're hurting right now because you're infertile.
Well, let's be honest, kind of.
Well, like, trust me, dude. You will chuckle.
So we got Patreon questions. This is why you should support us. Anyway. Draco Silver.
You guys are so amazing. Hi, Draco.
What was the most bland recipe you had to follow? It would be for you.
The most bland recipe I had to follow?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to just go with ice in general, which I fixed, by the way. Turns out you can freeze a lot of different kinds of alcohols. You really can. turns out, and my brother found this out the hard way, that if your parents keep alcohol in the freezer, and you're young and stupid and drink the alcohol, but then refill it with water, they catch on very quickly. So that was the most bland recipe, but it was a hysterical night for me.
Alright, we gotta go real quick. Skylar Ringtail.
Hi, Skylar, I was drinking.
Yes. Winter's come early in the Midwest. What are some ways to keep your spirits and body temperature up during the cold, dark winter months?
Self-immolation.
Pretty short-sighted.
I fix problems. I don't handle lasting issues.
Honestly, something I would recommend to all of you, kind of a diet, I wouldn't say diet recipe, I just don't know how to say it. Not a lot of people do this one anymore. Mulled wine. Oh my God, a good mulled, M-U, there's 2 L's in that shit, guys, it's fancy now.
Otherwise it's mulled wine.
Mulled
I
wine.
think it tastes like ass.
So here's a little piece of advice for you. Mulled wine you make by putting a bunch of spices into cheesecloth and putting it in the wine and simmering it. What you don't do is take all the spices and just kind of haphazardly throw them into the pot and then attempt to drink it when you are already drunk because you will just start coughing cinnamon.
What's your recipe for boiled wine?
It's just a tip.
It's not cheesecloth.
Alright, my recommendations for staying warm in the cold, honestly, robes. I love robes. Robes everywhere. I don't want to get my robe. I threw just a fucking coat over my robe and went to Target. I don't care anymore.
Incorrect. You had your coat, then my hoodie, then your robe, and then the burner robe. Would you like to explain to them the burner robe, you genius of a dragon, you?
Oh, the burner robe. The burner robe is what happens when you don't realize your robe's on fire. And you walk in front of the heater that's in the garage that's keeping you warm, and you forget that's there.
So, I did not know this happened. We have a coat rack in the house because I am lazy and fancy. And we have robes hanging from this coat rack. And I grabbed a random robe because it was cold. And I noticed a giant hole in the back where his ass should be. So first off, I made assumptions that we were going to be having fun today. Turns out he set it on fire.
The gentleman's SPH? What are you talking about? It's ridiculous.
The gentleman's SPH, and as usual, like using too many SPHs, eventually it will burn.
So yeah, I walked in front of the stupid gas burner and it caught, and I think I put it out in time, and basically it creates a it all just it crispies away, so you get a really cool Castlevania cloak over your regular robe, and it's really good. And then you can go to Target and buy whatever you need. I just
Real homeless person.
like a stupid modern Jedi.
Yeah. Well, just a Jedi.
Well, yeah, Jedi. They figured it out, right? We're like, oh, this is our thing. This is part of our religion. We wear robes everywhere. We're always comfortable.
Now I know I love those movies.
This is the part of The Empire Strikes Back where Obi-Wan cut the ass out of Luke's robe.
You definitely did. That one's called The Empire Strikes Back Booty.
All right, next question. Shally.
Hi, Shally.
What is something you consider yourself good at that not many people know about? Oh, God. We've exploited most of our talents.
Yeah. If you're good at something, try to figure out a way to make a very small amount of money out of it. That's the best way to put it. Boozy, you haven't answered one in a while, but I need to stall. What's your answer?
I can shove 4 quarters in each nostril.
Oh, no.
Why do you know this?
So
Was it
that's how I know. Just accept the fact that I have had reason to learn this.
Oh, what's this? Oh, thank you so much. Oh no, it's the whole pimp in his hose.
I'm good at juggling, but I don't do anything with it.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Fucking sweet. Yeah, that's right. You're all into that stuff. But also you like other clown stuff, right?
Yeah, I know a lot about clown history, I guess, but I never...
Yeah, like apparently we learned in pie history. We went to the pie panel, which was awesome, by the way.
That was very good.
Apparently, people hired Mo everywhere to throw pies because he was the best pie thrower anywhere.
Wait, can we rewind? There was a pie panel?
Yeah, it was great.
There was a pie panel. No one told me. Boozy, there was a standing room only pie panel.
Shut up, you whore.
It was great. It was super great.
Excuse me.
I thought we were friends.
Okay, I gotta go through all these questions. Sorry. What's your favorite genre of music?
Who asked that?
Oh, sorry. Shooting Flash.
Hey, Shukin.
What is your favorite genre of music? Do you have a favorite song from that genre?
So, genre of music is hard because it really depends on what I'm doing at the time. I don't know who introduced it. It was somebody in my house would just have it on in the background, and now it's one of the few things I listen to while playing the City Skylines is synthwave. Synthwave is ridiculously fun at times, and I found one that is Stranger Things synthwave.
Oh, no.
And it just makes me feel like I'm playing D&D in the 80s, which is bad because D&D has a lot of mazes, and my road structure has gone a little hectic. It's like an ant colony where we want the queen to die.
I think I know why you're doing synthwave, because you're creating your dystopian city.
No, when I do the dystopia, whenever I build the industrial district, I like to put on, what's the band that you showed me?
Industrial?
Oh no, it wasn't you that showed me, it's John. Apparently there's like Viking hardcore music with...
Hailstorm. Hailstorm.
No, it's not Hailstorm.
Monomart.
Viking, yeah, kind of Viking death metal. But basically there's just a guy out there chanting, and I'm building all this dirty industrial, like, yeah, this is what the Vikings would be doing, soap factories.
Have you seen Mongolian death metal?
I will when I go home.
It's awesome.
They do the Mongolian in there as well, yeah.
I was saying, I was just telling Xander about how I went to a house show probably like 10 years ago now in my hometown. And a dude was like, dude, I'm running this show out of my basement, come check it out. And I was like, yeah, sure, sounds good. And I went there and they had a trash can full of jungle juice and a bunch of angry people headbutting, proving that they were cool. And then like, they were like, all right guys, here comes the metal band, it's gonna be nuts. And I'm like, all right, here it comes, it's gonna be cool. And then they come out, and I'm like, all right. And they're all like, we're like Satan's fist punch or whatever. And then a dog comes out, just like a regular bulldog. And I'm like, hey, that's weird, but I get it. We're in a basement, that's not too impossible. And then the dog gets a little tiny mic. And I go, oh man. This is a bit, right? And then the dog starts singing as the band starts playing, and it's just a dog barking into a mic while I'm in a basement while a bunch of angry white dudes slam their heads together. And I'm like, I think I'm the only one who acknowledges what's going on right now. And it was great.
It's like, this is art, no one realized.
Yeah, no, imagine.
This is a portrait of our times.
I'm so happy right now.
Oh, by the way, I got the name of the band, High Lung. H-E-I.
Thank you,
Lung.
I love it.
Yeah, they do like songs like Ankle Leg, which is what we call it. But it just,
No, we do not just call it that. They have a song that's in, I'm guessing Nordic. I have no idea. But the words sound like ankle leg. So I'm sitting in the garage, listening to this music, just kind of hanging out and chilling. I turn around, and Nico is behind me, dancing on one foot, pointing, ankle leg, ankle leg. This is my wife. Love my roommates.
oh,
The way he's here.
yeah. All right. Status of Ferret.
Hi, Status.
How do you feel about My Chemical Romance getting back together for one more concert?
Hold on. Shrooms got together for a concert? What's just
My Chemical Romance.
They're a white boy wine music from like the aughts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understood a few of those words. Help me out here.
Did they do
It is something young, sad Caucasian males listen to at the turn of the 21st century.
I literally just said that.
Translated into Alkali.
It was very helpful. Is this the look down at the ground and slightly move your hips dancing?
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
It was my jam. It still kind of is. I love white boy wine music.
Isn't that
Oh, that's one?
I think so.
Oh, when I was.
Yeah, I know, boy.
These lyrics are so easy to mimic.
Yeah, that's
Turn into anything.
I love that song, man. That was my life. It's so important. It represented my soul or whatever.
I understand. That was the big part for me.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's really beautiful.
Okay, did all of us up here have that moment? Because I think this is semi-universal. That when you're younger and you think that you finally figured out the world, you haven't, by the way. Young people, you're as dumb as we were, cut it out. But that day that you think you figured out the world and you found that thing that really connects with you, that song. What was your song? You just had it? What was yours?
Oh, mine was not Black Parade. But, to be honest, as sarcastic and ironic as I enjoyed it, I pretty much on repeat would listen to anything by Simple Plan. Mostly because anything that Simple Plan was, it was literally just like, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, how come everyone thinks I'm such a nerd? And it's great, because it's just some shitty white boy with an acoustic guitar complaining about how his dad took away his car. And it's my favorite. Oh, Jesus.
Boozy, you ever?
Remember your song?
I got mine.
What is yours?
Alright, for me, I got this, I'm in Garfunkel, and I listen to The Rock, which is all about being happy and reading books and being alone, and that's cool. But I didn't realize they were being ironic about it. So I'm just like, yeah, that sounds great. I can just be alone and be happy. And I didn't realize, like, they're like, no, get outside, you fucking nerd. Alright, oh, I said that.
Oh, I've sworn so many times.
Right.
That was your one.
Do you remember yours?
Yes?
Oh no.
Now mine was Jackson Brown Stay.
Really?
Oh, wow.
My voice is gone, I can't do that.
That's like one of the gimmick voice songs that always make me mad. Like they figured something out, just how to capitalize on the stupid voice gimmick. It's like how everyone in the 90s was like, "Brr, brr, brr." I was like, everybody did that. Pissed me off.
The mumble. It was mumble rock.
Yeah, man. Alright, I should move on.
Moving on.
It
Alright.
really blew your mind, didn't it?
Anyway, Eggman.
Anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
I agree, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. What are your tips for eating well during the holiday season?
Don't even try. You know what? If you want to eat well during the holiday season, eat the tree. It's probably the healthiest thing in your house post-Christmas. So we just recently held Friendsgiving at my house. Friendsgiving is something that me and some of my close friends who live locally do every year because some of us grew up and we don't do a lot with our families anymore. And this is our way of having a night that we get to do whatever we want. So we played like 20 games of Slap Cup and burnt a turkey, but whatever. But the thing was, I bought so much food that by the time it was over, inside the fridge was nothing but carcinogens and carbs. The top shelf was crushed White Castle stuffing, crushed because we put the lasagna on top of it. Underneath that was a second tray of White Castle stuffing and vegetarian lasagna, and by vegetarian I mean I forgot to put the meat in. Underneath that was an entire ham that we forgot existed. But the best part about it was the day that we always have a menu plan. We know exactly what we're going to eat, exactly what we're going to buy. But this is after the real Thanksgiving. So what happens in stores after after the real Thanksgiving.
Christmas shit goes up.
Besides that nonsense, sales. I found a baby's worth of ham. It was a package this size.
Alkali, you know we have real measurements, right? You don't have to just do baby value. You weird yenta.
You know, Chris, as a performer yourself, I know that both of us try to make this world a better place. And don't you think it would be better if everything was measured in babies?
No, I get it.
If you go to Costco, you know you can buy a toddler-sized thing of jam, right?
Xander, I can have so much jam! Toddler jam!
Yeah.
Well, I purchased a baby-sized thing. It was 3 pork shoulders, 4 pork loins, 10 pork chops, all wrapped up. And it was labeled as like a little under $100, on sale for $20. And I'm a Jew. So my thought process was, well, we don't need to eat it today, I'll just put it in the freezer. But I forgot, I have roommates who like Hot Pockets. So there's no room in my freezer. The day before we left for MFF, for Miko, who stayed behind for an extra day, I cooked 4 pounds of pulled pork, 4 pulled loins, 10 pork chops, and handed him a tray and said, here's your lunch for tomorrow. And then I left.
I just gotta point something out. You're Jewish enough to capitalize on a deal on ham, but not Jewish enough to not eat ham. I didn't ever say that.
We are all people.
Xander, I'm just Jewish. Yes.
This goes for anyone who uses the term Friendsgiving. What exactly about thanks is exclusive to blood relation? Just curious.
Because when I was young, I had one of those families that would go around the table and say, so what are you thankful for? And I was the douchebag who one year said that I only have to answer this question once a year.
You know how you don't get invited back to Thanksgiving? When they ask that question, you say CPS.
I would use 3 different letters, DNR.
All right, let's see the question here. Tyro.
Hi, Tyro.
What's some advice you would give your question masters or people as a whole? What the Tyro?
And just general advice?
Yeah.
Think before you do.
Hey, there you go.
This was one that my parents tried to pull on me and it didn't work when I was a kid, but as an adult, super helpful. If you want to do something and you're not sure, wait 10 seconds and see if you still want to do it. If you've had second thoughts, it's a terrible idea. Get out of that relationship. What?
Anyway.
Oh, I got one. It's nice.
Go ahead.
Never do anything, never make any decision or really talk to anyone past 3 a.m. Any single thought, idea, concept, or thing you are thinking about is a total fucking fake out by your own mind. Don't do it. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you want to say to someone, don't. It's not worth it after 3 o'clock in the morning.
Cannabis Slurpees are chewy.
Yeah. Okay.
You should know that.
My general advice is don't give your existential crises in the hotel lobby in MFF when Chris is around. It's very specific.
No, I'll make you chuckle. It'll be worth it.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good thing.
All right.
It's really good.
Boozy?
Climb every mountain, dream every dream, and establish a safe word well in advance.
All right.
Banana.
Alturus.
Bananas are going to keep going.
I'm gonna do another Patreon question. Alturus.
Hey, Alturus.
How many eggs do you need to make the perfect THC-infused lemon curd?
Yeah, dude.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out.
4. It's still D4 because can of butter is the best.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. The butter.
It works. It's all in the butter. It's
Okay.
all in the butter.
There you go. Okay, wheat thins.
Hey, wheat thins. I absolutely love everyone in the audience. Like, for a moment, there was no laughter, so in my mind, you all wrote that down. Just so you know. Whatever joke bombs, I assume that you guys are taking notes.
Sweetman's over here. Hi,
He gave me the spicy need.
Who were your most disliked group of kids in your high school? Oh man, that's a good question. Hey, do you know?
I mean, I was the most disliked kids. I was part of the corner kids.
Wait, was this in the yearbook? There's like just a picture. Most disliked kid.
I was in the corner kids, and we were all made fun of. So the general school disliked us the most.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm fairly certain my high school planned it out this way so that all the awesome nerds who joined clubs would actually help out all the cool kids. Because we found out that if AV, library, front office staff, and computer lab staff all put our keys together, we had access to the Scantron grading machine.
I thought you were going to go with you summoned Captain Planet, but I'm glad it worked out.
By our powers combined, you might get a passing grade.
That's the way of keeping the peace, basically.
Yes, no, it worked really well. Like, we weren't popular, but we could get you the answers for tests, which were never right, because we had a teacher who claimed, this is an actual line from my history class, Scantron is God. It didn't matter what you did. If the Scantron said it was wrong, you had no recourse. So we put that to the test. And in a show of amazing solidarity, for one test in this history class, we just took our pencil and went, and everyone got every question wrong. When it was like, so, who's your God now? I'm sorry, if Pepper were here, he could tell you. A good teacher is able to deal with a student that can't pass his class. A bad teacher has every student fail, and we were trying for that.
Very nice. All right, we got one more question. Erner.
Hi, Erner.
Hi, Erner. Okay. The decade is almost over.
The what?
The decade. How do you celebrate the end of the 2010s Dragget Show?
Well, we already went over what's happening midnight, December 31st, so I think I've answered that.
That's true.
A chewy smoothie. That's right, Bob. Brought back the best.
Anything, Boozy? How you gonna?
I want to celebrate the end of the 2010s.
Yeah.
Likely by making my children question their self-worth.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you want an explanation?
No, that should be good. I left wondering, and that's the best part. All good horror.
Yeah, just sit there, stare at the whole, like, 10 years ago you didn't exist.
You caused so many existential crises.
Yes! He gave me nightmares. This is a fact. Does everyone know the story real quick?
I don't know this.
Okay. Boozy.
I'm not sure I know this story, but I'm interested to hear it.
You were telling spooky stories in basement.
Oh, yeah!
Instead of like these spooky supernatural stories, here's Boozy. Here's a real Asperger that happened in 1921.
That we haven't caught.
Yeah, and at the end of it, and they never caught who did it either. Good night, kids.
All right, you need to understand something. Basement Con, could you describe the location of Basement Con again? You did so
It
well.
is the acid and over. Like you drop, like okay, act like you're going to Anthrocon, but when you get to Pittsburgh, just like take a fucking right and go to Canada. Because you are in the middle of nowhere. Like literally, it shows up and it says you're in New York, and then says, wait, no, you're in Pennsylvania. The reason they say this is there's a dirt road with no lights going between two mountains to a large chunk of nothing but woods and a lodge in the middle of it. On the left-hand side of the road, you are in Pennsylvania. On the right-hand side of the road, you are in New York. And all around the cabin, axes.
Everywhere.
Weapons on the walls.
Like there were 3 rusty saw blades sitting by the front door.
Pointed them out to your children immediately. You are the ultimate Darwin aficionado.
The best part is like there's the lodge, which looks okay, and then there's this really rundown ramshackle building right next to it, right? My kids got out of the car, looked at the lodge, and immediately started walking to the ramshackle building. Like, that looks like where Dad would put us up in. The other place looks like it's habitable and Dad's cheap, so.
Well, it's the middle of the night. Boozy has been telling scary lawyer stories. It's pitch black out. There's there's only starlight and the light of a fire.
There is no television, there is no telephone, there are no street lights, and there is no internet access.
And no witnesses.
No witness.
Well,
That's on the book, sure.
as we're sitting there listening to these stories, Sue, our friend, who is sitting around the fire, staring into the flames, with nothing but tall grass behind her, we all see Sue kind of sit up. The hairs on the back of her neck, obviously sensing something. And then we all hear it. Sue jumps off of the log that she's sitting on, screams and turns around. There was a deer this far from her that just wanted to hear some scary shit. And the best part was when we jumped, the deer barely, and she was like, okay, cool. It kind of trotted off into a ditch.
It went to New York.
That was a great night.
It was. That place was scary.
The voice was wonderfully scary. Uzi, what were the DVDs that we had access to? They left them for
Oh,
us.
yes. We had no internet, we had no TV. We did have a DVD player and 3 DVDs. We had Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the extended cut of Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, and Volume 2 of Season 2 of Duck Dynasty. There were 8 different remotes. None of the remotes went to the DVD player on the TV. We don't know why they were there, but they didn't work. We could not figure out how to get it past the opening screen, so we spent like 30 minutes just listening to the background music for the opening screen of Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. Then one of my kids went, "Is there a play button?" We spent an hour and a half looking for a light switch.
We're not good at this.
No. And then when we get there, there's like, the guy is trying to show us around, like, now there's big fences around there. Do not touch those fences. Because they have freaking cows walking around.
Don't go to the right, there's a pond, you may drown in it. Don't go to the left. If you go too far to the left, when you walk out the back, you're going to come across the cows behind the fence. Now, everybody thinks cows are nice, but they're not.
If you go into the woods, wear orange.
The best part I got though was, he's like, and the cow pasture is surrounded by an electric fence. And then he got a faraway look in his eyes. Like he stared off into the middle distance between Alkali and I just, it really is a kick to it. He walks out of the kitchen, I look at Alkali and go, I'm pretty sure he touched the fence. He goes, oh yeah, he totally touched the fence.
If I remember correctly, we then started singing Don't Whiz on the Electric Fence like the entire weekend.
Of course.
To be fair, they legally can't have them shock you at a lethal level, so you can totally squeeze them once they fence.
You have the weirdest knowledge of trivia.
It's more of a life experience.
So,
I didn't know it was electric and I was late for school.
did you try to jump an electric fence?
I successfully halfway jumped an electric fence and then I tumbled down the other half. Down a hill. It was great. I ripped my backpack and it just kept going. And I'm like, well, alright, okay. And I was falling long enough to where I was realizing that I'd been falling and I was like, come on, seriously? They don't have this big. And I was like, and I get to the bottom and then I see my trail of like my homework and stuff and I was like, no, I'm just gonna tell them this happened.
You have a very strange definition of success.
I keep the bar really low.
He got over the fence, get off his fucking back.
That's right.
That's true. Oh, Jesus. I got nothing. Holy shit. Alkali, anything?
So, the electric fence at Nero.
Oh God. Why are there so many stories?
We had one campsite, we do not use it anymore, at a very specific part, at the top of a hill. There wasn't, and all of us knew about the electric fence. We didn't even do modules. Module is a adventure. You go out there, you do the thing, and you come back. So this time, we needed a new location. We went up there, and our newest plot member, his name was John. John was a little bit shorter than me and weighed close to 400 pounds. Nicest guy you will ever meet. And he decides that this 6'5", 400-pound man was going to play a rogue and hide in the brush.
Why are
I don't know.
I'll
Why is
fix
that
it.
music coming from God?
I'll fix it.
Oh, this was my song. Well, remember how I told you this was at the top of a hill? He backed up into the brush, brushed his ass against the electric fence, jumped out of the brush at the moment the module began, went across the path, and started rolling down the what we called cliff, but he called hurt hill. And this 400-pound friend of mine is going ass over tail, just ba-boom, 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 and finally, bam, lands at the bottom. And all of us concerned Euro players are dead, silent, looking down at his unmoving body. And the first thing that we hear that proves there's still life is, I landed on my keys. That module did not have a rogue on it. They killed it with lightning. And keys.
And keys. Oh man, Benjamin Frank was half right.
We could have saved so many elephants.
Right. All right. I don't know. We got something going on now. We're finished with questions. Hooray! Hooray! Oh, you got one?
Yeah, refresh. I just boosted the subscription.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Oh, did you send the question to us?
Oh, yeah. I will check
Oh,
it out. I
yeah,
was
just
looking
yell it at us
screenshots.
right now. What's
Yeah,
your
that
question?
works.
Not counting last night's Who's Lion, what's the worst thing you've ever heard at a con panel?
I am literally not allowed to talk about that, but I can tell you the third worst thing. No, we've heard some crap. Things have happened. Here's the thing about bad things that happen in cons. Sometimes the stories of what happens when they work out really well, they are funny, but they're not funny in that moment. It's very rarely funny in that moment.
The sad thing is we can't tell you what that means.
But still my favorite. It happens to be my favorite. It's also one of the shortest things ever happened. It was year one of First Square. My director of operations at 10 p.m. decided that it was time for him to go have some fun. It's a wonderful thing. I loved that my staff and my board could have a chance to have fun at their own con. So we're standing in a long hallway. There's a bunch of furries hanging out, and so are all the other people from all the other groups staying at the hotel. So we have the cheerleaders, we have the youth lacrosse team, and they're all hanging out, and it's wonderful, and they're all playing with the furries. And then my director of operations and his two friends, wearing leather dog masks, leather pants, and not much else, come walking down the hallway on their way to a panel located in the basement. And I'm standing there, and the woman standing next to me reaches out and puts her hands on the shoulders of her two young children who are looking at my friends with a very confused smirk and said the following line. No, hun, don't touch those doggies, they're dirty. A lesser convention would take that as a slight. Not fair square. To this day, our pup panel is called Don't Touch Those Dogs, They're Dirty.
And I just felt like we had the whole discussion online, like, oh, is this okay or not in public? And then it was on the singing show, what the hell was it? And like, oh, capitalism has determined puppets are okay. We can have them on NBC in prime time.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever, the Masked Singer or whatever, yeah.
Well, like I told you guys earlier, one thing you never want to do, if somebody is doing something to get a laugh, and then you really come down on them, it's never going to work. They're going to want to do it more. And that was never... I actually forgot where I was going with this crap. I had something and I'm totally blanking right now, because we haven't slept in 2 days.
Boozy, relay, go.
Oh, the worst thing I ever heard at a panel or con?
Oh boy. Con,
Yes.
At a con, it would be a dear friend of mine who is a con chair of a con that I'm not going to talk about, who walked up to me on the last day of his convention as he's going to do the debrief with the hotel, or no, day after last day, going to do the debrief with the hotel, and says, I have a question for you. And I said, yes. He said, we have an attendee who every year for the past 4 years has had an accident in one of the lobby chairs. The person was incontinent and had problems with their balance. He had a picture of it, and it was just a small brown streak up the back of the chair. He says, this has been every year for 4 years. This is going to be the 5th year in a row that we have had to talk to the hotel about this. Do you have any suggestions? And I looked at him and said, yeah, tell them to buy brown chairs.
I hate you.
Hey, that's smart.
The hotel bought brown chairs.
It is legitimately funny going into a new venue, and when you do this, you know, you have your board who are looking around like, yes, this will be a good hangout area, and this panel space is great. But I'm like pseudo-legal for cons, he's real legal, I'm pseudo-legal, so all of my thoughts involved, they're gonna put that and that and that and that. Oh, get rid of that shit. That's a door, just get rid of that door. That will not work on them.
This gentleman helped choose the location for Basement Con. You know what he chose? Because I want you to know how much bullshit that is. He chose a lodge that had weapons hanging on the walls. I said, there were real axes just hanging on the wall. And not like behind glass, just like there. Like somebody's like, hey Boozy, do you want me to bring the axe over? I'm like, what axe? Everyone, the one by the stairs.
Dude, you always need a stair with the axe. And excuse me, what's the mission statement for Basement Con?
We are the worst furry convention ever.
Nailed it!
We somehow got a normie who wandered in unexpectedly. We were in the middle of nowhere on Sunday morning eating breakfast. And last thing, you have to drive out of your way to get there. We're sitting there, we're eating breakfast. A blonde woman pulls up in a Cadillac SUV, gets out wearing designer clothing, walks inside, starts looking around. We have rented out an entire lodge. There is nobody else there. She says, could one of you show me around? I'm like, well, no, ma'am. Well, I want to speak to the owner. Well, he's not here. Well, could one of you show me the bedrooms? No. She turns around, walks out, climbs in the Cadillac, drives off down the dirt road into the wilderness. I'm sitting there, we're quiet. We're somewhat in shock because the wild carrot like Sasquatch appeared in the wilderness. Which shows that no matter where your furry convention may be, a Karen will show up and say, what's happening here?
I believe we have one more story. You had one, Chris?
Yeah, I do have one con story. This is actually a brony convention. It's not that one. It's at that same convention though. That convention, later on in the night, there were at the convention known as Camelot Gardens, which ran exactly 1 year before it was shut down. After only 1 year of existing in the, after Brony's only existing for 1 year, so really no one knew what the hell they were doing about anything.
Sweet.
And it was great. So the night gets a little bit long in the tooth, and I go down to the lobby to get something out of my car, and I see one of my friends who is just hanging with a bunch of these dudes, and one of them's just rapping in the lobby, full on rap performance in the lobby, and it's rapping, yes, rapping.
I thought you said something else.
I know. And anyways. So I'm just alright, I'll watch this. And then, as the rapping goes on, a person with wild eyes comes into the lobby and has a knife. And she starts going off about how she is going to cut this rapper left and right and every other direction. And I'm like, wow, this is really crazy. I just wanted to get soda from my car. Now this is going on. And then I'm like, let's not commit a murder, please. And then she's like, I don't give a shit. That little blah, 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 a lot of not PG-13 things going off on this guy. And this dude's like, yo, what up? I don't give a shit. I'm a fucking hardcore rapper. Ain't nothing messing with me. And I'm like, wow, this is so weird and hood rap. And I'm sitting there holding each other back. And then she's like, I'll cut you too, you fat piece of shit. I'll cut you neck to nuts. And really just going off. And she finally sees that I'm wearing a Fluttershy shirt. And the entire moment is diffused. So she can go, oh, that's a really cute Fluttershy shirt. That was wonderful.
Wow, friendship is magic.
It really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to do one more thing before we go. We do this every once in a while. We are going to turn off the cameras and everything. If you would want to stick around for another minute, we're going to give you a charity story. The reason we made sure that this year we're doing it, if you were not at opening ceremonies, there is an anonymous donor at this convention, and they are matching every donation that is made this week. And so for every dollar donated, the Chicago No-Kill Shelter will be giving $2. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, thank you so much for your generosity. You can give, and if you can't, do not worry about it. We are furries. These animals are going to be fine. So without further ado, let's give it up for goes Boozy Badger! Chris the Comedy Buddy! Ladies and gentlemen, the creator of the Dragget Show, my mate, and the person I love more than anyone or anything else in this world. Guys, give a huge round of applause for Xander the Dragon.
Everyone give it up for Alkali!
We're going to turn off recording equipment. We're going to give you one more story. When we're done, they're going to be setting up for Furry Feud in here, I believe. If you would like to talk to us, we'll be over there for a while. We're selling a bit of merch. We have all of our stuff now. Thank you so much for getting this down here. You are amazing, and we love you so much. So without further ado, guys, this has been the Dragget Show. We're going to do a charity story, but for the cameras, thank you very much and good night.
Thank you.
Silver Gattoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gattoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gattoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.